Done heavy by the Ivorian author and satirist, GauZ was first published in 2014 and has been subsequently translated into the English by Frank Wynne in 2022. 2 hours ago I started and have now finished this short little book, and I have to say this completely misses the mark. We start off in 1973 where Ferdinand has arrived in Paris from Côte d'Ivoire to become a security guard. After the Arab oil embargo occurs, France starts to rise up against foreign workers, saying that they are actually taking jobs from true Frenchmen. We then jump to the 1990s where Osiri and Kassoum are now undocumented workers and get jobs as security under Ferdinand, who now owns his own firm. Sharon shifts in a flour sifting mill. That's really difficult to say. Sharon shifts to the flour sifting mill. However, just as a crisis affected Ferdinand, there's going to be another crisis that is going to affect all three, and that is 9/11. Sounds interesting and insightful, I hear you say. The problem is this book is structured in such a way that you can't really get any of that inside out. Sandwiched between these characters' stories and developments, there are masses of musings from a security guard working in Sephora. I'd like to say they're witty, but they're really not. Let me read you some. What GauZ is trying to do, and he tells us this, is that in order to be a security guard, you almost have to like switch off. Your job is standing still and observing what is going on around you. That is the entire job of a security guard, and therefore these musings are not philosophical. They're not clever. They're just observations. In a clothes shop, a customer without a bag is a customer who will not steal. The shape of a person's buttocks is as unique as their fingerprint. At Sephora, the men in black are the security guards. The women in black are those who wear the niqab. A black woman is applying white lipstick. It makes her look as though her lips are infected and filled with pus. Bastille, Day 3. The most surprising thing is not the parade of all this lethal weaponry. The surprising thing is the public cheering and applauding. Oh, that's really interesting. Maybe he's going to expand on that. And he does. GauZ makes the observation that a soldier is merely an overblown form of security guard. Oh, this is interesting. Like, I wonder what's going to happen here. A woman in a burqa is carrying a little basket in which there is a bottle of Lady Rebel by Mango. Okay. The problem of this book is that detail is provided, but nothing is explored. But we'd rather do a really bad throwaway one-liner, which is nail bar, brow bar, care bar. I suppose perfume has high alcohol content. The difference between being hip and being square is 3% elastane. One of the aspects of Ferdinand's story which I thought was meaty, I thought we were going to get something from it, was the discussion that GauZ has in regards to Poniatowski. Poniatowski was an Italian-born man who rised up the ranks, and Napoleon Bonaparte during the Napoleonic Wars used him as a war marshal and also a king of Warsaw. Poniatowski was used as a buffer for the Russians to keep the French people safe. Subsequently, years down the line, the great-great-grandson of Poniatowski would be Michel Poniatowski, who ends up being the interior minister of France. And an interesting observation is made that this is clearly a Polish name. We clearly know there is Polish heritage, yet is deemed as a Frenchman because he is white. Poniatowski's heritage would equally make him an immigrant like those from Côte d'Ivoire. But Poniatowski declared that France was an African encampment. We're like, oh, this is wonderful. Like, we have a little bit of history, we have the politics. Where are we going to go from there? GauZ goes into, how do you describe a fart by a perfume counter? Yes to tomatoes. Tattoos on black people look more like dermatosis. Black people's tattoos are 3D. On a sliding scale, the 5 senses have a decreasing range. Sight, hearing, smell, touch, taste. Playing hide and seek amongst the rails of evening dresses is a favourite pastime of restless children. French people say Sephora. English people say Sephora. This just went nowhere. The Chinese don't have a word for buttocks, apparently.